All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You've reached the Boho Info Show and News Network here. Network, yeah, whatever. Anyway, good afternoon. You reached the Boho News and Info Show, and we've got some updates. I also have the other information I promised you guys on how you can survive this price increase, and we're going to be sharing a lot of these prepping tips to people that want to listen to our channel and hopefully share my channel with others and get the word out to help each other. So, before we get started, we make no claims medically, legally, or otherwise. We tell you to take everything we say with a grain of salt and do your own research and maybe come up with the same thing that we do. And, through any of our shows, we always give our opinions, our 2 cents worth. So it is what it is. I will be providing links in here in the show or towards the end of the show on where I get my information from. It will be scrolling on the bottom of your page that you're seeing right now. So let's get into it. So first thing on updates, I want you guys to be aware of right now. U.S. is actually sending supposedly Patriot missiles to Poland. Only 2, I think they said, but I'm not sure. This is from the Wall Street Journal. I will give you the update on that. Right now, Putin is basically pulling in probably everything on the south and east end of all around Ukraine. I think he's going to actually stir the pot and get those other people involved because they're not part of NATO. They're all part of a sovereignty. And I'll tell you this, I have not told any of my viewers out there, but my great-grandfather went through the Depression. That's why I have the information and the knowledge on a lot of this stuff. I also have family members in almost all the branches of military in the United States. Let's see what else. And then my backing, I know a little bit about Russia because one side of my family came from the, was in conflict with the Tsar of Russia, which is Nicholas II. So what I have is interesting information that will be complexed into the whole situation from here on out when we talk about anything with the Ukraine and the Russia situation. Now, I might say some words that I might be a little funky. It's because of the censorship online. So you're just going to have to read between the lines and kind of figure it out what I'm trying to say, okay? But as of today, they're sending Patriot missiles to Poland, according to the Wall Street Journal. And it says here that the defense deployment is being conducted proactively to counter any potential threat to U.S. and allied forces and NATO territories. U.S. European Command said in statement, which, by the way, the U.S. European Command I have in going into my Telegram page, so it's really important if you want updates with the European Command. I will be putting all that stuff into my Telegram right along with anything else of importance, okay, dealing with this whole 9 yards. And it says here, Poland has been criticized, both Ukrainians fleeing the country and defending the nation since Russia invaded 13 days ago. Poland and NATO and EU members have over 1 million refugees from Ukraine that have become a major staggering area for arms going into the country. So what's happening is a lot of the refugees are flocking more to Poland than other countries, I guess, right now. And this is, honestly, this is kind of me reliving my great-great-grandfather's situation over there in Poland, and the whole thing with the Tsar of Russia and all that. So I'll give you another show on that later. It's not really, it's my personal thing, but it is what it is. And I'll explain really what really happened. But anyway, it says here on Tuesday, let's see, Poland said it would send all of its MiG-29 aircraft on an American air base that would transport them to Ukraine in exchange for comparable American fighter jets. The Pentagon appeared to reject that offer, though. So, see, what they're trying to do is Ukraine is trying to pull in the United States into this war by exchanging military equipment, I think. Okay. And Biden doesn't want to do that because that will get him impeached. Okay. Amongst other things. But yeah. Anyway, it says here Russia has fired at least 670 missiles into Ukraine. Senior defense official said Tuesday there are fears that an errant missile could land even in Poland. Did you hear that? There's fears it could even land in Poland, which the Patriot missile system would defend against. The Poles already have at least 2 Patriot missile defense systems. So what's going to happen is U.S. is trying to bring over 2 more that will give them 4 to defend themselves with stuff in Poland now. And also help with Ukraine. So I'll give you the link on that for the update on that as well. And then what else here? I know normally I don't put out 2 shows, but this will make up for my last week's show that I didn't have time to deal with. So the latest developments right now, hot off the wire, is Russia has airstrike hit a maternity hospital in Mariupol and buried people, including children, under the rubble. Ukrainian authorities said basically pressed their offenses across Ukraine, and right now they managed to move about 5,000 residents overnight and reported more shelling in the past 24 hours, and 1 bomb killed 22 people. Now, I don't know if this is at the actual hospital that got hit, and those are the people that got injured from it, or what's going on. But, this is, really a sad situation. I'm wondering, maybe Putin's trigger happy. I don't know. It's like he's trying to weave around where everything's being happening and stuff. And I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, also too, let's see, they're saying Coca-Cola and Pepsi products have been pulled from Russia, on top of what I told you with McDonald's, McDonald's having over 850 units pulled out of Russia. Visa, MasterCard also pulled out. U.S. is banning importing any kind of Russian oil and natural gas now. And let's see, the Saudis Emirate leader declined calls with Biden. So that's not a good sign, people. If the Saudis are declining calls to Biden being a Democrat, knowing that the Saudis did deals with Hillary and did deals with Obama and other things, okay, that's not a good sign, okay? Because here's the thing. That tells me right there, it confirms from my last show that Putin is definitely ganging up with the Saudi Arabia, and they're exchanging oil for gold and etc. and so forth. And that's how Putin is going to keep going, by teaming up with the Saudis, because they're the bank. See what I'm saying? That's exactly what I said in my previous show. So right there is another one. You can see this part if you go to the Wall Street Journal and you go to live coverage. Underneath there, you view highlights and the latest developments. That's where I found these underneath the article here. Let's see. So that's not a good thing. And that tells me too, then if they team up with the Saudis, that might be a thing where Russia could actually go after China. Because here's my theory, okay? If, Russia is teaming up with the Saudis with the oil and the gold situation, and the Saudis are refusing any calls with Biden, that tells me the Saudis don't like Biden and the Democrats right there alone, okay? And they're probably finagling on all their deals or whatever, but that tells me that, they're going to team up with Putin and make him stronger force to deal with. basically. Let's see what else here. Also, all iPhones and Dell Technology suspended all their products over there and services in Russia. Let's see what else here. And maybe Amazon, it looks like here too. So basically, the whole world wants to be cut off from Russia, but yet Russia is still kind of having a bank with the Saudis, it sounds to me. Okay. So yeah, even Silicon Valley is suspending all their services and their products and stuff like that in Russia, which includes Microsoft. Now, this is a big, huge clue. Okay. Remember, I tell you, trying to teach you guys how to read between the lines and read codes and look into things deeper than what they really are, because they are what they are, you know. This in this article alone is proven that is showing me that Putin is kind of siding with the Republican side, and especially with Trump, because remember, Trump was pulled off of all of Silicon Valley social media. Now they're doing the same thing with Russia. Doesn't that confirm what I've been saying in my past couple shows? I think so. And Putin's going after the corruption. Putin's trying to cut off the Democrats' money trails and try to bring the proof of evidence so that he can take it to the Nuremberg kind of level. You understand what I'm trying to get at? Anyway, all this is in the Wall Street Journal. It is in this one here where 10 minutes ago, Amazon halts shipping, Prime Video services all in Russia, blah, blah, blah. Dutch bank, Russian market, da, da, da. So you're going to see a lot of major companies pull out of Russia and basically banning them or censoring them or not covering them in the exact same formula. And I want you to put your thinking caps on this the same way that they were doing it with Trump. Now, I know, Alex Jones there is going to say, no, that's not what's going on. But I'm sorry, I've been praying on this, and I'm like, I think this is really what's really happening. He's trying to get after the Democrats' money trails and sever it from the World Bank and sever it from all these locations where the corruption lies in the UK there in the Ukraine area, along with any other ties to other countries there in that area. Okay, that's just my take on it. Okay. But I will give you the link on that too. Let me pop that in here real quick. I'll give you the link on that. But I want you to really go into that Wall Street Journal area. Okay, it's under live coverage and latest developments. And I really believe, this war is created by the left, created by the Democrats, by the grassroots organizations, that is bought and paid for by Soros, because Soros already was a Jew and he's already went through all this shit way back when, right? Pardon my swearing there. And so we're getting a repeat of that right now, where Russia's doing it to Ukraine, but Russia is trying to clean out all the corruption that Soros has created that is connected to the Democratic Party, including Biden and whoever else is on the Democratic Party, as well as the grassroots organizations on the left and any corrupt grassroots organizations on the right. And I mean grassroots organizations, which are your traitors of the Republican Party. Now, with all this in hand, I'll give you other updates as they come and go, okay? But I promise you guys where to find stuff on thrift stores, right? So give me a minute while that loads up. I want you to look at something. Okay? Sorry, bear with me. Bear with me. All right. I gotta get me something to drink. Hang on, guys. And I don't mean beer or alcohol. I'm getting some tea. All right. Bear with me. I'm almost there. All right, so here's the next thing. I hope you all can hear me on this. But here's the next thing we're looking at. I promise you guys, if you can't afford stuff at the store because of the rising prices of petroleum products, you can get it at your thrift store. Like all the stuff that we discussed in the previous show. But here's the thing. Be careful where you go. Here's what I found. If you go to opensecrets.org, that's opensecrets.org, and in the search engine you put in Goodwill and Salvation Army, they have made tremendous donations politically. You don't want to be part of that. Okay? That's kind of like the corruption trail. You understand what I'm feeling and seeing? Okay? What I mean by that is going to mom and pop type of thrift stores and supporting them. In your thrift stores, you're going to have anything you could possibly need in your house and bathrooms and in your yard and gardening if you need gardening stuff. They're going to have your clothing, shoes. I've actually found some military stuff. There, you can even have cookware, stuff for the kitchen and stuff like that. Okay? I'm just giving alternatives, okay, to save money. Okay? If you have to do it, but find your thrift stuff. You know what I'm saying? Also, dollar stores. I told you about Dollar Tree in Florida here and other places. You can find a lot of your emergency items and emergency prep stuff in those stores as well. They're at maybe not at a big quantity, a lower quantity, and a different side brand kind of thing, but it's something. Right? Sometimes churches will have thrift stores. Check those out. Support them if you want to. Okay? But do not support Goodwill. Do not support Salvation Army because they are linked to opensecret.org, which they are donating to these politicians that is making and creating these problems. You understand? You feel me? I have the proof. You guys, I don't have time to get into that. But go to opensecrets.org in the search engine for donations to look up under Goodwill and Salvation Army, and you'll find them. Okay. What else here? I want to go through. Also, there's something called the Thrift Shopper, which I'm going to give you guys the next link to. Give me a minute here. Okay, I'm posting it, I think. Okay, also Yelp, by the way. Yelp will have, that's YELP. Yelp will have in your area, you can do in the search engine, your area thrift stores. But this website that I've given you guys the link, which is thethriftshopper.com, it does this in every state where you can put your zip code in, and it'll give you the closest thrift stores within range of your home. You can do it anywhere from 5 miles up to, I think, 50 miles from your home. This one I checked out, and it works. It does work. And they do different kinds of charity areas. Unfortunately, they do cover the Goodwill and the Salvation Army, but they do other areas where they have their funds donated to other charities. Also, another place to look out is Habitat for Humanity. That helps grow and develop houses for the people that are in need of one, I guess. So yeah, there's a list underneath this particular web page. Check out that because it gives you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 different types of areas for charity stuff for thrift shopping and stuff like that. So, and it'll give you that thrift shop for that type thing. Like they got volunteer services, community outreach, St. Vincent de Paul, veterans charity. If you're a military person, you want to do that, you can do that. Religious outreaches, hospitals or hospice, let's say development, disability, habitat, humanity, animal charities, rescue missions, Salvation Army, and Goodwill. I wouldn't do the first two, but maybe the other ones you could do. Here's the other thing too. You got to be very careful on where you do your thrift shopping at, because here's the thing. I found through the UN all the way down to the Democratic Party that they are hiding and basically laundering and laundering their money through non-governmental charities, meaning that they're their own entity and that they can basically do whatever they want to do. They don't have to pay taxes. Now, I understand a lot of charities don't have to, but when they start donating large sums of money to political parties, I don't think it's right for you to, support that cause. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes it where the money laundering connections and the corruption connections to Goodwill and Salvation Army and big ones like that are connected politically and connected in the wrong way and mismanage their money. Okay. Amongst giving out huge donations for basically changing and lobbying different laws in their favor. Okay, I'll put it that way. So anyway, I've given you the link on that. And then also too, we haven't talked about this, getting in a little bit about the food, but where they buy food salvaging. Okay. I will give you a link on that as well. I think, is it in there? Yeah, it's in the link I think you got scrolling on your screen on the bottom right now. But they have an area where you can find different food banks that do food salvaging. For example, rescue food from major grocery stores, where they have, it's ready to almost expire, but not really. It's like maybe a month before it does. Well, they bundle up all that food and it goes to a certain area and then they resell it or give it, They also have like this one called Flash Food there. Basically, this one here is a massive saving on fresh food like meats and produce near the best or before date is a grocery store is expired both in Canada and US. And it's called Flash Food app and saves money and it fights against waste and hunger. This one here is too good to go. This is for restaurants, bakeries, and all that stuff. They call them surprise bags filled with delicious unsold food. Collect your food and preset a time and da-da-da-da-da. And there's a website for that. There's another one called Local Harvest. I've actually done this one in Florida. It actually does work. What this is all over Florida. They have a website and other areas. Depends on what part of the country you can get it. Where they take anything that's grown out in the fields, whether it's herbs, produce, fruit, whatever, vegetables, and they'll register on the website, kind of like a co-op situation. And then you go over there and you make arrangements to buy it and pay for it from the actual individual that actually grown it. This one, the Local Harvest is not really a commercial farm. It's like an independent situation. Hungry Harvest is also where they do delivery salvage and you can get $10 off your first order on it, where they salvage organic, non-organic, and add-ons like eggs, bread, coffee, pantry, and so on. Okay. And then this one here called Imperfect Foods. Again, this one here does the same thing as salvaging of produce, pantry items, snacks, grocery items, etc. And you got to enter it by your zip code to understand if it's going to be, in your area or not on any of these. Okay. And then there's another one called Misfit Markets. This does basically organic produce. And what it is that grocery stores like Winn-Dixie or Publix or Walmart or any of the big wig kind of grocery stores want produce to look pretty. Well, this particular one here, Misfit Market, is one where they're ugly, like they got a dent in it, or they grew crooked, or they're smaller than they should be, or bigger than they should be, So they're not like for sellable kind of thing in a grocery store. So you can get stuff shipped to you that way for that kind of thing. And it saves you money that way. So that gives you some idea on that. Okay. And then they have stuff called like discount grocers. They have all kinds of name brands. You have to go to this one website, which I'll post also on there as well. And it'll be scrolling on the bottom of your page. But you can look into that to see if it's in your area or not. But here's the other thing. If you don't have this particular thing in your area, grocery outlet situation, then check this out. Here in the South, we got like Winn-Dixie and Publix and Walmart, right? And I don't know, Aldi or whatever. Aldi usually doesn't have any clearance area, but Publix, Winn-Dixie, and Walmart always has clearance areas. Always check those out first. They're going to be hidden too. I'll tell you that right now. You have to go up, down each aisle kind of thing until you know exactly where they put the clearance stuff. And sometimes they'll just leave it on the shelf and clearance it out as well. Okay. They're being very sneaky about it because they don't want it publicized that they got stuff on clearance, meaning that it's about ready to expire and they want to get rid of it, So seek them out first and then plan your shopping around it maybe, and that will save a dramatic amount of money as well. Okay. Other than that, if you go to Pinterest and look up boho info, in there I give you a whole schematics of emergency food that is needed for long-term survival prepping. Check that out. I don't have the link, but if you just go to Pinterest and you got a search engine, put in boho or boho's info, and it'll bring it up to my page, and then you can check everything out. It'll also have rationing things that they did way back when, and some recipes, but not too many. Okay. This is going to be it for me for this week, hopefully, and maybe next week I can do more. I'm sorry I didn't spend more time with you guys, but I don't want to get, I'm already getting hoarse here talking to you guys. Anyway, I need to get off. I'll see y'all next time. Check out, like I say, if you want breaking news on stuff also too, Wall Street Journal on their live coverage and the latest developments, and they'll give you an update on that. And that was the first link I gave you. All right. If you guys feel like you want, if you got any questions, go ahead and ask me real quick, and I'll do some questions real quick. Let's see what's happening here. Okay. All right. Very good. I got somebody listening to me. Very good. So I don't know what language it's in, but hopefully they can convert it from my language to their language and they can understand it. And let's see, what else do we have here? All right. If you can, I'm going to post this over on Twitter, this particular show, because I think it's very valuable right now, the time that we're going in where prices are increasing. Please get people over to my channel because we need to share this defense of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, and be on the offense and all that stuff too. But you know what I'm saying? All right. So, and if you guys want to make a donation to my channel, the link is running around on the bottom there at PayPal. Do so at that link if you feel free and you got the money to do so. Okay. And as we progress every week, I will have at least sometimes an hour or more on my shows to explain exactly what's going on with anything in development. And if not, I will put over in Twitter as well as Telegram on any kind of breaking news stuff. Okay. So until next time, guys, let's see what else, if there's anything else happening. I know there's some certain, hang on a minute. I'm going to give you some live updates. Let's see. Russian Commission backs nationalism. Okay. Western businesses and da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Amazon halts shipping, Prime Video services in Russia. Same thing. All right. Okay. Listen to this one. This is going to affect your food. Right now, an hour ago, USDA reduced a grain shipment projection in wake of the Ukraine-Russia war. So, like I told you, what is that noise? Okay. Like I told you before, anything grain-wise, okay? So, like pastas, breads, oatmeal, grits, stuff like that, okay, is going to increase in price. So, get it now while you can. Also, you know what? I think I'll go a little bit further in this show. Give you guys a minute here, but I forgot to also tell you guys that what else was I going to tell you here? Hang on a minute. Another clue to help you with your food, whether you're a prepper or you're a regular household person, or even if you're in a restaurant, let's say you're owning one or cooking or whatever, I don't know. But check out your ethnical food stores in your town. Okay, what I mean by that is your Asian food marts or stores. If you have an Italian store, if you have a Spanish store of any origin, all that stuff. Because here's the thing, all this stuff is going to affect a lot of the stuff coming in from the region of Europe. But a lot of stuff is already coming in with China, and stuff's coming in from the south border. Okay. And those are alternatives for your needs for food, meaning in canned goods, pasta, rice, maybe bread. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So check those out. I've been to an ethnical store, and I've been to a, was it a Thai store, a Thai mom and pop kind of grocery store. And they have these huge, like 20-pound sacks of basani rice. Um, and it's different from the normal store-bought rice. It has kind of a lavender kind of flavor kind of thing to it, but it's good for pasta, for rice. Okay. They also have what they call rice noodles. Check out the rice noodles, because that's an alternative for your regular pasta. And also check out your natural and health food grocery stores. A lot of those products will probably be cheaper in the long run against Publix, Winn-Dixie, Walmart kind of thing. Okay? So check out ethnical grocery stores before you go to Publix, before you go to Winn-Dixie, before you go to Walmart. Okay? And then know your pricing systems. Pay attention to them. If you have the Sunday paper, get the Sunday paper. Keep your ads throughout the week. Look at your pricing and memorize your pricing. Memorize even what size cans things come in, because what's happening is they're also shrinking down how much food you're getting in a can, in a box, or whatever container the food's coming in. Okay? When you go to an ethnic store like Italian, let's say you want to get tomato sauce, they have them in big cans, not these little things you get at the other stores. Okay? Or pasta, at least they're in 1 pound packages or more. If you go to like a Spanish store, you can get tons of different types of seasoning, almost like the West Indies seasoning kind of herb thing. You know what I mean? They have tons of seasonings. Same thing with a Thai store. Also, they have also the Thai and Asian stores have connections to produce. And sometimes they're cheaper than going to the regular grocery store. So pay attention to all that. Hopefully, I will somehow in the future go to some of these stores, record, if I'm allowed to record in their little mom and pop grocery stores, and bring you some information back to you guys. If not, I'll get their business card. And if you happen to be in the area where I might have shopped, you can go check those out. All right, I think that's it for now. You guys got everything. I'll check you out next time. We'll catch you on the flip-flop. Boho with the info. We're out.